Mm-hmm.
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 Mm-hmm. Mm.
And that's our podcast. Thanks for listening, guys.
Tune in next week or in 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks.
Tune in next time. We're back
whenever we feel like it.
Whenever life allows.
Welcome to Crime Crazy, the weekly-ish true crime podcast with Erin Klein, who can talk again, and
Jordan Middleton, who can also talk now.
where we prove
that we know nothing about our legal system,
but we're still crazy for a good true crime story.
Every once in a while.
Just not very regularly.
So guys, we are so scheduled for season 1, but this season we're going to keep you on your toes.
That's right.
We're not going to let you know when we're releasing. Did you see the tweet that I tweeted?
No.
I was being so sarcastic.
That's why you were like, I tweeted LOL and I was like,
because
okay, what?
I told you a long time ago, I was like, you shouldn't let me tweet. Like, I'm not good at it. I always think I'm funny and I'm not.
I'm
so
excited.
This is the case. It says, hey, y'all. So have you ever realized that days change when you go to bed and all of a sudden it's Monday night and you didn't record and tomorrow's supposed to be your release day? Oops, us too. And I put a bunch of shrugs. I said, hashtag, sorry about that. Hashtag, late release.
Well, so
where's the lie?
That's pretty much what happened. Well, I mean, okay, to be fair, we had plans to record
several times.
And then at least one of them I was like, yeah, there's no way.
Yeah.
And
one time I was dying and I couldn't.
And so I knew we were going to be late. And then it occurred to me it was Monday evening.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's Monday evening. And you were like, yes, it is. I was like, we haven't recorded. No, we have not.
Yep.
Like, oops.
Yep.
So we're really sorry. And that was not our intent. But,
we're trying.
People touched my mouth and I had to recover.
Well, yeah, you had a lot going on. We won't talk about.
I know.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Today I had to go back so they could make sure it was okay. And they were like, let's take an x-ray because it shouldn't still hurt. And I'm like, how would it not hurt? While you were doing the work in my mouth, I thought my eye socket was breaking in half. Like, I feel like it should still hurt.
So, yeah, it's like sore.
It is so sore.
Ew.
Either way, I was told my mouth is fine now. And
I did an x-ray of my teeth before I got my wisdom teeth taken out.
Yeah.
And it was this little spinny thing. And I put my head in it and it started on one side and it was like,
oh, yeah, I had to do that one last time.
And that was it.
But this one, they just wanted a picture of the area. They were like, well, maybe we left something in your gum. I'm sorry, you fucking what?
Don't say that to me. I know you don't because you don't have like cable, but there's this commercial where this doctor left his phone in the patient's belly.
What?
And it starts ringing and the attorney's like, we're going to get the phone, his phone out of you. And she's trying to explain it and the patient's like, what the fuck? And then it starts ringing and he starts trying to answer it through the guy's stomach. And then there's one, it was like, I don't know, something like they said something and the phone, like as if like Google Assist was hearing it, lit up and it was like, how to make butter 3/4 cup. It's reading off a recipe. So that's what I thought of. Sorry. Okay.
That's great. Okay. Well, so I have one story that's related to that. Can I tell a story that's related to that?
Yeah, that's gross.
It's about like artificial intelligence kind of stuff.
Ew, that's scary.
It's about Alexa. So my boss / best friend / boss has a daughter who's like, well, I don't know if they want me to say how old she
little.
is. She's not yet a teenager.
Oh,
but she's
what's
getting
that
close.
Britney Spears song? Still a girl, but not yet a woman.
Yeah, right around there.
She's a girl.
So she was watching the news or something, and they were talking about something being fraught with blah, 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 right? Like fraught with worry or fraught with problems or something like that. So she's asking her mom what it means. And I don't remember if my friend was not giving a good enough answer or if she was like, why don't you look it up or whatever. Anyway, she ended up asking Alexa what it means.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So she asks her and asks her, and Alexa's just not understanding. Finally, Alexa hears fraught and defines it. Only not fraught like F-R-A-U-G-H-T, which is what she was asking, but F-R-O-T. I don't know if you know what that is. I had to Google it. I'm going to just leave that one out there.
AKA, I'm going to Google it right this second.
Okay.
So.
I just feel like our listeners would like to look that up. But I you know, you can let your imagination roam.
Oh. Why do I feel like Mike Cole would have known what this was? He'd have been like, I know. Okay, so if it has an Urban Dictionary link within the first two on Google, that's how you know, guys.
Right. And it does.
Oh, that's so crazy. Well, I mean, all right.
It's like that video that's on YouTube of the little kid, and he's trying to get it to play like...
Oh, yeah, and it starts playing.
It starts adult games, triple X, blah, blah, blah. And it just keeps going on and on and on.
They're like, no, stop. That is crazy. Well, all right. Word of the day, guys.
Word of the day. We're here to educate, but not about crime.
I just like this one part, and I wish I could read it, but
I mean, you can read it. It's not, I mean, come on.
Okay.
Go for it. All right,
Okay,
she's
so
gonna educate you.
The one part that I love about this. Okay, the first link on Google came up, and it's just Wikipedia. So it says it's a form of male to male sexual activity that usually involves, this is my favorite part, direct penis to penis contact. I like how it says. I'm like, I don't know. I just like the way they had to. That was very proper. Direct penis to penis.
Yeah.
That's like, what is like? I don't know why. Oh, what is this making me think of right now? There's.
I don't know.
It's just not like, oh, like shoulder to shoulder. You know what I mean?
Right.
Penis to penis. And that's funny. Okay.
So there we go. We've all learned something. With that being said, should
oh, never mind. I'm not gonna say that. Go ahead. That's too much to say.
It was worrying me that you were like, oh, it's kind of like this reminds me of a story.
Oh, no. It does. No, just another term.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
That could be easily confused.
But your mom's listening, so.
I told her the fraught story too, but I didn't look it up for her.
Well. And your mom is so cute. She gave me a Christmas present because the other one, it was cute.
I knew that she had done that. She's like, I have Jordan's Christmas present sitting here, and are you going to see her? I said, well, we'll see her next week, but it looks like it's in an envelope. You could just mail it.
I know.
But I don't have her address. We have her address. Like, that's not a problem.
Which I don't think she actually mailed it.
Did she drop it off?
I think so. There's no postage on it. It's addressed to me and my address, and it has her return address on it.
But no stamp?
But no postage, no.
So she just drove it to your house?
I guess so.
And put it in your mail?
It was very cute, because I was like, this is kind of weird. It was in like those like manila envelopes. I'm like, this is where they send you blackmail. Like, this is what it is. And I'm like, okay. But yeah, it was cute. I sent her a picture.
That's really cute.
I know. I said, thank you.
Really funny. Mom, you're kind of a dork.
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to send her last night because by the time we got home from the movies, we went and saw Jumanji.
Did you like it?
Yes, that was cute. I was laughing the whole time. I was like in a laughy mood. So everything, I was like slapping Mike and laughing. And he was like, yeah. I'm like, you're not laughing as much. I was cracking up at every little
when
thing.
the girl peed, you were like,
yes.
Oh my God, every time.
She was just like, oh, this is so easy. It's like a handle.
So great.
I was cracking up.
You don't look. You never look. It's a thing.
Yeah. And then he's like, an aim. Remember to aim. And he's like, what happened to you? All I could think of was Toby.
Oh, poor Toby. Peed on his face.
Oh, that'll be a good story when he's older.
So he starts screaming from the bathroom Sunday night again.
Uh-oh.
And I'm in the kitchen and somebody said Toby's calling. And I was like, he's in the bathroom.
That's not
Last time he called in the bathroom, my dad goes, it was hilarious. So So I go in there,
Yeah.
and David's standing in there with him, and he had not made it. And so he just had peed all down his pants and his socks all over the floor. He was devastated. He only does it. He gets distracted and he plays.
Yeah.
Like, he never has an accident here, which I can only assume means he just isn't having very much fun when he's at home. But at my parents' house at preschool.
Yeah.
So he's devastated. And I walked back out in the kitchen and I was like, it's just not as funny this time.
Oh, no.
So his good big brother drove home and got him some dry clothes so that he
That's
could
good.
change.
What a cutie.
But
That's nice.
anyway,
Ugh.
do we have anything else that we need to talk about before we get started?
Besides all of the juicy gossip we've been talking about so far?
Yeah, like pee stories and sex terms and...
I think I'm tapped out for now.
Okay.
Take it away, Erin.
Okay. So I have to decide which one of these... So I have a story and I have a funny story. They're actually a similar length. Neither of them are terribly long. My funny story ended up being longer. Well, it's not a funny story. It was my short story. Ended up being longer than my other one. So I think... Which one do you want to hear first? Story 1 or story 2?
I wish I had a coin to flip.
Alexa, flip a coin.
Oh, story 2.
All right, here we go. Okay, so
I hope they picked that up. She said tails, y'all. Just in case you didn't hear.
Jordan's just like making stuff up in her mind.
Yeah, right? I mean, I would, but not this time.
So story 2 is where my pen died. It was really tragic.
I have had that happen to me.
I know. Look, there, right there is where it died, and then I had to get a new pen.
I can't even see it.
It's like purple and then green. All right, so story 2 is about this woman, and her name is Tamara, which could be Tamara or Tamara or
Wait,
Tamara.
say it again?
Tamara. Tamara. There's like 80 ways to pronounce
Tamara.
that name. So I was going to call her Tamara.
Tamara.
I've known a Tamara.
Tamara? That's fun to say.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to
Call
call
her
her.
Tammy.
Tammy Lee Mason.
That sounds about right.
Tammy Lee Mason. Oh, you're going to love this story, by the way. I totally thought of you the whole time.
Oh.
But it was kind of David's idea.
Oh.
So he was like, why don't you do a story about such and such? Oh, okay. So actually, let me back up and tell the backstory to the story. I am like an expert procrastinator. So you know how we were
Yes.
supposed to record last week on like, what, Thursday?
Many moons ago, yes.
Yeah, Thursday. And then I was like, oh, no, I don't feel good or whatever. And then we were going to record Sunday.
Well, no, Saturday you were supposed to come to my house and record. Because I couldn't leave.
That was the day that I didn't feel good.
Yeah. You wanted to kill the kids that day.
Yeah, I don't remember why though. Anyway,
Why
and
not?
then like Monday, I was like, hey, we should record, but then we didn't, and then
Well, because by the time we realized it was Monday night, it was
was.
Monday
It was like
night.
6:30.
And I think already in bed. I was feeling awful that day anyways.
well, so anyway, you would have thought that now that it is Wednesday and we've been trying to record for a week, that at some point I would have researched.
Yeah.
But when I was at the dentist today, we were distracting me by deciding what stories I was going to tell
Oh,
tonight.
that's a good idea.
So David was like, why don't you tell a story about... And then I looked it up, and it was the first hit, and I was like, this is the one. So here we go.
Okay.
All right, so Tammy Lee Mason,
I like that we're calling her Tammy.
yes, that's her new name, has 3 sons. Jacob Seth Cobb, 17, Andrew Quentin Cobb, 18, and Dylan Cody Clemens, 25. I would like to point out that while it really makes no difference, there are 3 different last names in that family right there.
That's
And
true.
she doesn't appear to be married.
I would have named one Corn.
Oh, God. Okay. So it is Christmas Day.
Oh.
And her sons are all there. And I couldn't tell from any of the articles if they all lived there. I mean, obviously, Jacob did because he was only 17. And Andrew very likely did because he was 18. Dylan's 25. I feel like if he still lived there, like, what is
Yeah,
wrong?
like,
Like,
you
do
should-
something else.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Okay.
So it's Christmas Day, and presumably presents have been opened and everything is pretty much done. And this is how it kind of goes in my family. Like, we open all our stuff, and then it's like, What are we going to do now? Well, let's get out like a game that somebody got and we'll play a game. So Tammy's like, Yahtzee. We're going to play Yahtzee.
Okay.
For whatever reason, she's trying. The boys are like, no, we're not going to play Yahtzee, Mom. We're not doing that.
Rude. Okay.
Right? Plus, Yahtzee is so much fun because throwing the dice is like such a
I like putting them in the cup and like.
sound. Yeah. It's way different than this morning when my daughter was stirring a bowl of rocks. That was horrible.
Don't even say that. It made me cringe you saying it.
It was awful. Anyway, so they're like, no, we're not going to do that, whatever. So everybody leaves the room except for Jacob. So Jacob's there with his mom. And at this point, I can only presume that she's like, come on, Jacob, we're going to play Yahtzee. You have to play Yahtzee with me. You're the only one I can still boss around, blah, blah, blah. Jacob loses his shit.
He's 17.
He's 17. He doesn't want to play Christmas Yahtzee so badly that he puts his mom in a chokehold, wrestles her to the ground,
Good
gets a
Lord.
bag over her head, a garbage bag, uses his belt, and strangles her.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So tightens the bag with the belt. Mom stops moving, and at this point, like, there's a struggle. There's some noise. Presumably, Mom was not just like, Jacob, no, please don't do this, and then just let him kill her. So the other sons are in the house.
And they still hear it?
They hear it. They just don't intervene.
Oh my
And
God.
she just dies. Later, when everything sort of comes to light, the oldest one, Dylan, says that they weren't entirely sure she was dead when they, like, put her in garbage bags. And they knew that she'd stopped moving. But they didn't know whether or not she was dead. Anyway, okay, so here we're going to keep going.
Okay.
So the brothers put her in a garbage can. Actually, they all do it. Like, Andrew and Dylan help get in the garbage can. Then Dylan drives the garbage can to a friend's house. So they're in Minnesota, and his friend lives in South Dakota. And so he drives this garbage can over there. They're going to light it on fire and burn the body to hide it, right?
Holy
and I
crap.
don't know that he tells his friend that he's coming to do this. But when he gets there, he changes his mind and he drives back home. And this is all still Christmas Day. And they prop Mom up against this wall in the hallway for the night. And they leave her there.
I feel like everyone's so nonchalant in this.
Yeah, they seem pretty okay with it.
Like, everyone's like, we've done this before.
So
You know the routine.
problem is it's Minnesota and it's Christmas.
Yeah.
You can't bury a body in the winter in
Oh
Minnesota.
my gosh, no way.
Everything is frozen.
Yeah.
So they put her in the shed until the ground warms up enough to bury her.
Okay. So she's pretty much frozen in the shed as well then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So December 27th. So that's the plan. They're just going to stick her out there until it's warm enough and then they can bury her in the yard. December 27th, somebody reports her missing, presumably not one of the boys. And the police come to the house and the boys were there and they question them. And Dylan, the oldest one, the 25-year-old, says there was a fight on Christmas and it got a little physical. She really wanted to play Yahtzee and we really didn't. And then she got really mad and grabbed her purse and stormed out. And we have not seen her since. It's been 2 days. She never came home.
Okay.
So presumably she's like cooling off somewhere else, which apparently satisfies the police. May 21st.
That's a big jump.
Yes. 5 months later.
Holy shit.
A friend goes to the police and he's like, I have to tell you something. A while back, Dylan mentioned that he and his mom got in like a physical fight and followed it up with the comment, how would you get rid of a body?
Oh my God.
And I told him that he should take the body to a pig farm and let the animals eat her. But then he should take the head, because that's a really identifiable bone, and he should throw it in a lake or a pond.
First off,
Everybody go search the pig pens around this kid's house.
I know. And then I hate that was his go-to.
Well, all I can think is they watch a lot of Criminal Minds.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so because it gets... There's
I'm
more.
sorry, but even if I could not go and drop a dead body off of they scare me too much.
I don't know that I'd necessarily be afraid of pigs, but as soon as I drop the body in there, I'd have to leave.
I'd be too scared.
Terrible plan.
I
as
hate
plans
that people have
go.
like pet pigs in their homes.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh my gosh, like a cat. If you die, it's just gonna eat you.
Yeah.
At least my dog will sit with me and cry for 10 days.
And then eat you.
I don't know if he'd eat me. He doesn't eat anything.
Oh, that's true. He would just starve to death.
I'm pretty safe.
Right. Plus, you'd be dead.
Well, yeah. Double
So
safe.
then Dylan tells his friend. So his friend is telling the cops. Then he says to me, my littlest brother killed my mom. And so that's, that's
So
why
he
I'm
admitted
asking.
it to his friend.
Yeah, he said Jacob
my
killed
God.
mom. And the friend said, well, where's the body? Because I don't know how long it had been between when they killed her and when he went to the friend looking for advice.
Yeah.
If it was still winter, which it probably was,
Yeah.
then the friend's plan is not terribly viable either. Like, the pigs could deal with the body, but
You can't
you
throw
can't throw a head in a pond.
It'll just be
in
on
Minnesota.
the ice.
It would
Oh
just
my
sit there. Donk, 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 donk.
That would be so. Oh.
It's terrible. Okay, so anyway, where's the body? Oh, somewhere. All right, so the somewhere is it's still in the garbage can in the shed until it thaws in the spring. In June, so he tells the police this May 21st, and then in June, they finally get around to questioning the boys. And
Everything's a little slow around there.
way
They're just
slow.
taking their time. They're
and
falling out themselves.
I think is there in Alberta, Minnesota? I feel like that's where this was. I think that's where this took place.
Okay.
Anyway, so in June, the cops come and they talk to Dylan. And Dylan is like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, that never happened.
Okay.
By this point, apparently the ground has thawed enough and they have buried mom in the backyard. So she's no longer in the garage. July 6th, Dylan cannot handle the pressure anymore. And he goes to the cops and he confesses. Jacob killed my mom. I helped get rid of her. We stuck her in a shed, blah, blah, blah. Then I buried her in the backyard once the ground thawed. July 7th, they dig up the body. So I don't know. Maybe the confession took all day. And they just couldn't get out there. Or it took a long time to get a warrant. I feel like if somebody's like, my mom's buried in the backyard,
I think
you're
the
like,
judge would
okay,
be like, good.
I'll talk to you. You go get the body.
Yeah.
Go at least put up police tape. Something.
So crazy.
Anyway, so they find the body. And then, of course, there's the court case and the arrests and all of that. So at first, they charged Jacob with 2 counts of second-degree murder, which, again, I don't know anything about the criminal justice system because I don't understand how you can get charged with multiple counts of murder for one dead body.
Yeah.
I understand, or I feel like it makes sense that you would want to charge him with more than just second-degree murder.
I feel like we've had cases where it was one body, but multiple charges. So, like, first and second degree murder. And that confuses me even more. Because I'm like, wait, one, or like manslaughter and second degree murder. I'm
Right.
Like, what is the difference? We should probably look that up.
Well, so I have a general idea of the difference, and I feel like in that case it makes a little bit more sense because maybe the jury would find that it was manslaughter, was totally accidental, as opposed to second degree, which is not premeditated. So they might be like, you know what, it wasn't an accident, but we don't think he planned. So it's not manslaughter, but we'll go with second degree. Like they're sort of hedging their bets, right? Like they're like, choose one of these. Which one of these would you choose? But I don't understand multiple
counts of the
counts.
same.
Like I feel like it should be like second degree murder and improper disposal of a corpse and concealment of a crime, and like I feel like there'd be other charges you could add to that. I don't know if any of those other things were actual crimes.
Well, I feel like it should be.
Right. Anyway, so they charge him, and then they charge him as a juvenile because he was 17 when it happened. They charge both Andrew and Dylan with accessory after the fact.
I was gonna say the middle child was just quiet the whole time. Like,
Yes. Well, and that comes up. Finally get around to the court case because, of course, that happens forever later. And Jacob is charged as an adult. He pleads guilty, and he's sentenced to 15 years in prison, which really he'll still be out in his 30s. It's just not that big a deal.
yeah,
Dylan, the oldest one, who handled most of the disposal and covered up the crime and talked to a friend and all of that, he got 8 years. Andrew's lawyers successfully argued that he had no criminal history and he didn't do anything, and he did help get her in the trash can, but he didn't like take an active part in it. He was very passive. And so he should have a lesser sentence than his older brother who was more active in the crime. And the judge did give him 22 months. He told him he was really concerned that he would see him back in prison. And he said, of everybody, of all of your siblings, you are the only one of your mom's children who can possibly ever become anything like what she would have wanted you to become.
yeah.
You're the only one that stands a chance. So it is your responsibility to become the adult that you should be, because the other ones are just screwed. You're the only one.
Yeah,
Which,
that's a lot.
that's a lot.
Dang.
So anyway, yeah, because they didn't want to play Yahtzee.
I have never not wanted to play a board game or card game or dice game that much. I love games.
I don't think I've ever not wanted to play Yahtzee.
Well, yeah.
End of sentence.
I love Yahtzee.
I do too. I play it on my
Who
phone.
hates Yahtzee that much?
I don't know.
And I hate that my first thought was, okay, well, if it was Monopoly and he was losing, like that's something different. And I hate that I thought that at first, but you know what I mean.
No, I totally
Which
get
I
it.
love Monopoly too. I don't care if I lose, if I win. I try different strategies every single time I play. So it's always a new fun for me.
I feel like if it was Risk and they had asked me to play it all, I'd be like, no.
Usually I just look at people and I'm like,
It's going to take me 4 hours to set that game up. I'm not interested in playing with you.
yeah, true.
And that's coming from a girl who's really excited to own a copy of Where in the World, which is literally a game where people ask you geography questions and you put little their push pins with the pin part taken out. Like that, they're literally push pins where they've not stuck anything in the hole, like the metal piece in the hole to make a push pin, and you set them on the part of the map. Like, which country has a population greater than 20 million? And you're like, oh, I know this one.
Do not ask me to play. Because I will just make it up.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't know anything about geography. I'm terrible, but I really, really like that game.
Oh, my God.
Because we used to play it when I was younger, and I knew, like, all of the countries, and I felt so smart. I wouldn't be able to do it now because they've changed since then. I can always get America and Canada and Mexico.
I could probably get more than that. You could get more than that.
Oh, no, I can get more than that.
But if it's like weird questions.
Denmark looks like a duck head. That's all.
Oh, yeah. Italy is a boot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about it.
And that's your geography for today.
You have now learned
Duckheads
some
and
sex
boots.
terms, some geography, a little bit about Yahtzee. So
I hate and love your story.
it
It was so chill, like nonchalant. Like
was.
oh,
Nobody
you
was
killed them.
concerned about
Oh,
it.
she's gone for months. And then it's like, well, actually, I helped my baby brother dispose of my mom's body because he killed her. But when you're telling me how he killed her, and then he just grabbed a trash bag and like put her on her neck and did all this thing,
Yeah.
I'm like, where the hell did he get all this shit?
I don't know. I presume he pulled the belt off of himself.
Well, yeah, but the trash bag, I was thinking, okay, they're playing Yahtzee in the living room on the coffee table.
Maybe they were playing it on the kitchen right next to the
Yeah.
drawer. I don't know. Oh, that was the other thing that I meant to say is that when they were asked about putting her in bags, they responded that they had done that. And oh, I wish I had the quote pulled up, but it was like super like textbook crime drama language. They were like, we didn't want any biological matter to get in the house that later could be detected by crime scene analysts or something like that. And between that and the like throwing the body in the pig pen, I
they
was like,
watched
they
way too many
watched
crime.
way too
Yep.
many crime dramas.
Yep.
Maybe just Criminal Minds. Like,
They're like, no, we know this now. That and like CSI.
yeah, yeah, or Bones or something. They're watching something, which maybe is why they were just like, we want to try this out. We want to see if we can get away with it. And Yahtzee's a good enough excuse. Let's do
I
it.
really hate Yahtzee, Mom.
Right?
I'd be like, okay, go away then.
David and I in the car were trying to figure out like what the real story is, because that can't be the whole story.
No.
There has to be years of abuse, and then she's like, you know what, let's just put it all aside and forget it ever
Have a good
happened. And they were
Christmas.
like, no, or
Yeah.
like,
Teenage angst
right,
and mental diseases.
right.
Something. There was a trigger, and it wasn't Yahtzee.
It wasn't Yahtzee. No.
Special
Yeah, I don't-
Agent Jordan Milton on the case.
Right.
It wasn't Yahtzee.
Yeah, so one of the articles that I was reading had language like, you know, as the first brother, they're describing him like strangling her, and it said, luckily her two other boys were in the home and probably intervened, right? No, it seems when raising psychopaths, she rolled a 3 of a kind. I was like, that is awfully like flippant of you.
That's not right.
Oh.
Oh,
But also true.
yeah.
I mean, has to be.
That's sad.
Do you think they came home planning to kill her and they were just looking for an excuse? I just don't
But
understand.
dang, did they run out of the day? And like they're like, well, now we have to resort to Yahtzee, and they're all in like the back room. They're like, okay, you throw the
Next
fit. We're
thing
gonna walk
she
away.
says, right.
The next thing she wants from us, but let's eat first, okay?
Right. She cooked a really, really good
Yeah.
turkey.
Did everyone get their presents in the car? All right, let's go.
Right. Well, it's not going to matter. We're just going to shove her outside for 6 months until it thaws. So, yeah, that being said, I did tell our Minneapolis fan that I totally want to move out there and live near her.
Yeah.
I almost said with her. I can move. Diana, I'm moving in. Surprise! No.
I'll be there when it thaws.
When it thaws.
That's funny.
Don't put me in a trash can.
So I'm looking down at my story, and I almost forgot what it was about. Because
Nice.
I researched it a while ago.
Oh, because you didn't wait until
I
literally
didn't.
having to write it in the car on the way here?
No, I
Yeah.
didn't.
My little
Well, if
notes are
I
not
did,
even on the lines.
That would be really bad because I
You
drove.
drove. I
I'd be
was
like,
not driving. I want that
"Oops."
to be
Yes.
absolutely understood.
So mine is it's something else. I just when I was looking at it, I was like, this is not real. And then I kept reading it and it was real. So here we are today.
I have to pause you for a second.
Okay. Just cracking a cold one.
Having a gin and ginger without the gin. It's a virgin
No.
gin and ginger.
Get it? It's a ginger.
I was, yeah. All right, there we go.
Please send checks to my P.O. box and make them payable to cash. Thank you.
We're going to use it for mental health, we swear.
Okay, are we ready now?
We are so ready now.
Okay.
You proceed. It's going to be fantastic.
I hope so. It's a lot of drama, y'all. So get your chanting of Jerry ready because
What?
get it, Jerry, like Jerry Springer. Jerry.
Chanting.
Chanting.
I think you said Channing, like Channing Tatum, and I'm like,
Oh,
you're Channing of
Tatum,
Jerry?
Tatum.
What is
There is
Channing
no one that cute in this. Sorry.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
Oh no.
Okay.
But also, this name is kind of ruined for me because Aaron pointed out that from July to November spells the name Jason. And then I saw a
hate
post
that.
on Tumblr that said that. And I said, oh, I know that. And the next like note on it was, but D, that could be their last name. And they're like, oh, Jason Derulo. No, they're like, he's shouting out because he always has his names in his songs. So
Well,
No,
and
every
in the
time.
calendar.
every
I
time
feel
I see
like
that.
somebody should have looked at that and then rearranged, been like, you know what? Actually, we would like to switch August and September now. Or you know what? Switch fucking October. It really ought to be the 8th month. Oct. 8.
Yeah.
Just switch it with August.
Yeah.
And then it wouldn't spell Jason. It would spell Josanne. And that's okay with me.
That's better than Jason.
All right.
So, speaking of Jason, that's our bad guy's name.
She's like, no, on topic.
Nope. Segue back in. Jason Valdez.
Very good.
He, at the time, was 36 years old. And he
I'm not
had...
that old.
Well, this was a while ago, so he's older than you.
Well, I'm still not 36.
Yeah, see?
Even
And
if you were here today.
so his... Oh, he's not here, but he's here on Earth.
Oh, great.
Don't you forget it. He had an alleged hostage. So her name...
Wait, what?
We're going to get there. Her name was Victoria. Nope, it was Veronica. Sorry. Her last name was Jensen. Wasn't Tammy's last name Jensen?
Nope, it was Jones.
Oops!
Wasn't it Jones? Wait,
don't know,
no,
I
maybe
think-
it wasn't Jones.
I thought he said Jensen or something like that.
Mason.
Mason.
You would start with a J.
I don't know. All three of your people, or all four of your people had different names except for two. But either way, guys, she's irrelevant.
All 4 of your people had different names, except for the 2 that had the same name. So really, all 4 of your people had 3 different names. It's totally different.
Oh,
You could work in sales.
probably.
Okay, go ahead.
So Veronica, not Victoria, hid in this motel room, and it was in Salt Lake City, for 16 hours with Jason because he decided he was not going to come out. So they barricaded themselves in this motel room.
Okay, I'm confused about how this all started.
We're going
How-
to get there. This is
okay.
just setting the scene. So
Well,
imagine
yeah, but
a really shitty motel and all of the furniture pushed up against the doors and windows. This guy,
Was
Jason.
there at least a fridge?
It's a motel.
So probably not.
No.
Did they get snacks before they barricaded them? That's always my issue in a hotel room is I'll get back to my hotel and like dinner's over and it's been like 4 or 5 hours since dinner and I'm still up and I'm like, I'm hungry. And there's no food here. I'm not at my house. I
guess
can't
I've
go get
only
something.
like recently been in hotel rooms with Mike, and we always have food in the room. There is
Never have
never
any
not a
food.
moment where we haven't ordered food and it's like stocked.
Yeah, no, because when I travel for work, we eat out and
Yeah.
sometimes I'll bring food back, but most of the time I don't.
We have gotten into the habit of ordering food and then
And having it delivered?
having it delivered right to the
Yeah.
room to where they're like, oh, it's you guys again? Like they know us because we order a lot. Well, you have to think when he's in a hotel room, it's like weeks.
That's true.
So really, we can order the same place 3 times and they would be like, it's you.
I just always do like Eat 24 or something. And do you like go pick it up?
No, they come right to the hotel door.
Oh, right. But then you're limited to like pizza and Chinese food.
In New Jersey, they deliver everything.
Oh, I just always order Eat 24 because they do deliver everything. And then
Yeah. And Panera delivers now.
it's true, except when it snows.
Except, you know, a psychic told me that once.
I know, me too.
Okay, sorry guys, back on the track. All right, so pretty much SWAT team people, like they were ready for this, came to the hotel or motel, knocked on his door and was trying to get him to come out for a felony drug warrant. So
Okay.
they had a plan and he had a different
Okay.
plan. He said, I'm not going. So then this is just the tip of the iceberg. I cannot wait to read you everything. They were there to arrest him for that. He wouldn't open the door. That's when he barricaded himself in. Then they started calling Veronica a hostage, which she was there willingly before it all started. And from everything I read, and I read about 8 articles that pretty much said the same thing, no one ever mentioned if she actually wanted to leave. And
Right, because she could be there
They-
voluntarily, but if she
If then
wants to
this-
leave and isn't allowed, then she's a hostage.
But I couldn't find anywhere where it said that, yeah, and she tried to leave, or if she wanted to leave and he wouldn't let her. So that's why I keep saying alleged hostage, because they just kept calling her his hostage, and he was like, she's with me. Like, whatever. He was very dramatic.
Right. Actually, she's a co-conspirator.
Right? So, oh, God. So this last 16 hours, just keep this in mind.
16 hours.
So towards the beginning of all this, he thought, like any other reasonable person, oh, you know what I should do in this hostage situation? Well, I'm saying hostage very loosely. And I'm hiding out from the police and they're all outside and they have me surrounded. I should start posting on Facebook.
Oh my God.
So,
Like, guys, guess what I'm doing? I'm checking in at this motel.
so right? So I get, well, really, if the police already know you're there, then what does it
Sure,
matter? You can
right.
talk about it. So most of his friends were responsible and they were nice friends and they tried talking him down and saying, you should
Dude,
just
you
come out.
Probably should just
You
leave
should
the
just
room.
be smart. Don't be dumb, blah, blah, blah. But then there were some who are absolutely horrible. Horrible people. So I have a few of his Facebook posts up and I'm going to read them to you.
Oh, that's amazing. And I am so excited about this portion of show and tell.
So I'm going to bleep out some of the words that I don't feel comfortable saying, but I will read it as he wrote it.
I'm ready.
So this was at 10:23 at night. So this is the beginning of it. So I felt so bad when I read that because I was like, 16 hours, started around 10 o'clock. I said, dang, that means those cops didn't get to go home.
No.
They had to sit there all night long.
Yeah.
That's
Do you think
horrible.
they rotate the cops out when it's like that? Like, my shift is ending. Can you get the next guys here? We're just standing around.
Maybe. Except for the ones that like are trying to like build morale with him. Like, like talking to
Yeah.
him and stuff. But anyway, so this was
Not the
his...
negotiator.
Yeah. So this was the first post. I'm currently in a standoff with these shady ass bleeps from old. Kinda ugly, but ready for whatever. I love you guys. Every S is a Z, just to give you guys a picture. And if I don't make it out of here alive, I'm in a better place and you were all great friends.
I'm sorry. Unless...
So
I know. I got nothing.
he posted that and some people said, man, Jason, you got people out here that love you. Do the right thing. Love ya, homie. And it says, damn, be careful, you effer. Jason, you know that we all love and care about you. Do the right thing. Choose life. X's and O's. We're all thinking of you and praying for your safety. Then, here comes the bad friend. Because all of those other ones were like, be smart, come out.
Right.
You have people who care about you. He has daughters, at least a daughter. This one says, if you let them take you away from us, then you're letting them win, blah, blah, blah. Show them the real Valdez, that's his last name, be a man.
Well, okay, wait. But... is it if you let them take you away from us,
then,
like if you let them kill you? So be a man and like man up?
No. Okay, so hold on.
Oh, okay. I was premature.
Well, it's not necessarily your fault because I missed a spot because you have to understand that none of this is spelt right. So I'm trying to just
hard
glance at it and assume what it says. If you let them take you away from us, then you're letting them win, all caps. Nah. F dat ish. Show him a real Valdez. Be a man on some real though. Something. So
that could go either way.
So I was like, are you instigating him, telling him no, you should go out with a fight, or you should just come out and be cool and be calm? I don't know. So then a bunch of other people are like, be careful, do the right thing. Don't be crazy, blah, blah, blah. So then hours go by. The police are trying to make contact with him and trying to make deals with him. And they're setting deadlines like, okay, we'll give you until this time to come out. And trying to get him on a track.
Okay.
He's not listening. He keeps posting. People are posting to him. So one said, oh, just so you know, there's, I'm super paraphrasing this one so it's there's a gunman in the bush out front. Keep low.
Oh my gosh.
So then they're starting to help because it ends up being a whole spectacle and people were watching. The police at the time didn't know people were on Facebook knowing him, telling him this is where they are. So then that compromised their positions.
Oh,
so it was a whole big deal.
Was he armed at all? Do we know?
I think he did. It doesn't get that far.
Gotcha.
So it doesn't end up being important. But I think they were expecting him to be the way he was acting.
Sure.
And he kept mentioning stuff about, like, suicide by cop, pretty much. Like,
right.
He kept trying to say that.
So that's why that other comment sounds like, don't let them. I got
Yeah, because the first one, because that's what he said, is like, if they take me, just know I'm in a better place. Like,
gotcha.
Trying to warn people that he might die. I don't know. So then, so this is the next post he does, and people are posting on his wall, and he's responding back, and
because it's really boring being in a standoff, apparently.
Right? Where? Hold on. I just want to make sure I'm not forgetting. One guy was absolutely horrible, and I don't know if I have the link still because it made me that mad. Oh, yeah, I still have it. So then, anyway, at 2:00 in the morning, so fast forward a little bit,
Right.
he said, they shut our phones down, but we're okay. So what they did is they turned off all the power and everything and the Wi-Fi, everything around. So they couldn't charge their phones anymore.
Right.
So anyway, they shut our phones down, but we're okay. Everyone's comments mean a lot, but how this ends is on the cops now. And my hostage, as they call her, is perfectly fine and holding it down with me. Right? So, then again, these comments. There was one comment that, like, one feed that was like, or I guess thread, I don't know, whatever, that this girl was commenting and every other letter was capitalized.
I don't even know how does it not take you 8 million years to type
So
that way?
someone said that was someone's comment, and he's literally talking about, like, maybe dying, and
Right.
she commented like that, and everyone disregarded what he was saying and was attacking this girl for typing that.
like that.
And they were like, yo, did that take you an hour to type out? And someone's like,
Right.
no, she probably has her keyboard set that way.
Oh.
And I said, there's some ghetto ass keyboard tag that you could switch to do that.
Because otherwise, yeah, who has the time for that?
I'm just thankful that my phone autocorrects I capital because now I never capitalize it. I just know it will.
Right,
I'm
right.
like, oh, thanks. But it was so crazy. So anyway, they turned the power off, and his hostage picture.
Right.
So he posts a picture with this girl and posts it on Facebook, and he said, "Isn't my hostage cute?" Like hostage, like parentheses or whatever he used. He like emphasized hostage, and she was just kind of like standing there. He was just, I mean, no one was smiling, which they shouldn't have been because you're in.
You should also not be taking selfies
Yeah, they
when
took
they're
a selfie, and he's like,
surrounded
"Isn't
by
my hostage
cops.
cute?" Like bragging. I don't know. He was so strange. So people are like, "You're crazy. Hope you get through this. Be strong." Like, it's like, where are you? I can't find you. Hit me up and calm down and walk out alive.
I'm in
I know.
hotel surrounded by cops.
And where is the one? Oh, yeah. Everyone's like, you need to listen. Like, you need to come out. I'm praying for you. Just walk out and do the right thing. So everyone is more supportive on that one.
Right.
So then he does the big selfie picture, I guess you want to say. In the meantime, cops are now realizing that people are posting and knowing that people around are helping him out. And
Right.
so that was a whole big deal. But I think that's why they tried cutting everything off, hoping that he wouldn't be able to
battery
post
would die.
Yeah.
Right.
So, which, I mean, they're probably doing the right thing because now he can't charge his phone. So, and you keep posting that much, your battery's going to die faster. So then this guy at 5:25 in the morning posts, "It's an honor to call you my homie. Love and respect." Excuse me? So he said, "Hey, bro, no, we just started kicking it, but you have a solid heart, and I'm honored to have you as a homie as well. Good luck with your new baby and family. You got a beautiful wife with a heart just like yours. Oh, yeah, and your homegirl Veronica, the hostage, sends her love and respect, and to tell Nate that he's a bleep. I don't know. They blocked it out on this picture. LOL. And then this is also the one who told him about the gunman, like SWAT guy in the bushes out front. And he says, "Thank you, homie. Good looking out."
Okay.
So these people are like saying their goodbyes to him. Like, it's an honor to know you, love and respect, like blah, blah, blah. How? I can't, I just can't.
People.
I hate people. So he added over a dozen new friends while the standoff was happening.
Oh.
Some of which
So it
added
really
him
was a
just to follow this.
I would have.
And
I would have been that horrible person who's like, but I have to see how the train wreck ends.
right? So then some were like, oh, you know, like encouraging his bad behavior. Others were like, you're an idiot. Like, just so you know.
And then Aaron was like, following this thread. And then nothing else.
Right. It's like, I promise I'm not looking forward to how this ends, but I'm going to watch it.
But I want to know.
So then I guess the police tried to get through the wall in the neighboring room.
Okay, that's an interesting talk.
So he had...
Like, did they cut through the wall? Or
think
was it an adjoining room?
See, and that's what I'm not understanding. I didn't really get a full answer. I just knew they were coming from the other room.
Okay.
So
I hope it's cut through the wall.
that would be cool. Either way,
It is cut through the wall. Keep going.
he decided that he would do a few warning shots at them.
Oh, so he was armed.
So he was, and I didn't remember until I flipped
Just
the page.
now. Okay.
Because it was on the other page.
Okay.
And I didn't do it today, so I didn't reread it. I wanted it to be a surprise for me, too. So he was armed. He shot a few warning shots, and he posted this. Well, I was letting this girl go, but these dumb bastards made an attempt to come in after I told them not to. So I popped off a couple more shots, and now we're starting all over again, it seems. And someone said, this is not a game, just let her go. And they're like, you're crazy, cuz they're getting ready. Expect the unexpected. Love ya. And then someone said, just come out unharmed, blah, blah, blah. You know, everything was good. And then one, good luck, homie. Be aware of surroundings. How they spelled surroundings? $, UROND, capital NZ.
I'm sorry. Can you do that again? I can't picture it.
Nope. No, I can't. That is the last I ever want to look at that. I was like, I had to look at it. I was like, what are they trying to say?
What is that supposed
Thank
to
God
be?
Kesha had her $sign for a while, or I would have never known that was supposed to be an ass.
You're like, $sign round?
So, he's dumb. He did that. Whatever. He was an idiot.
Yeah.
So, they breached the room anyways. And he
Right.
shot himself in the stomach.
Oh my God. That is the worst way to go.
That was his idea. So, that's just
He shot himself
in the stomach.
He didn't want to, like, try to get the cops to shoot him.
And he didn't want to just kill himself.
He didn't want to, but you still can die by shooting yourself in the stomach.
Oh, but he didn't. So I searched for him on Facebook to see if I could find any like
Jordan was
recent things.
like, I want to follow him now.
So he has a public figure page. And one of his posts said, this hole got infected. Something, a lot of things I didn't know how to read. And then curse words. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say at one point or another, his bullet wound was infected. But he ended
shot
up going
himself. I just don't.
He ends up going into jail. Okay, so anyway, hold on. He pleaded guilty to the attempted murder and possession of a dangerous weapon. And then the kidnapping charge, because she wanted to be there, was dismissed, which was crazy. So he has concurrent sentences of 5 years and 15 years.
So 15 years.
Yeah. So
or 85% of 15 years minus good time.
So when I was reading his public figure page, it sounded like he didn't even go right to prison.
No, maybe not.
He was out like, I remember seeing something like 6 months, then all of a sudden he was out, and then something, and I got to go back. And I don't know. He posted a lot if he was in jail or prison or wherever he was. But yeah, so he is still alive. He may or may not be in prison, and supposedly his life's turned around, but his bullet wound was infected.
But his bullet wound was...
He didn't even say anything. He said this hole.
I feel... Well, God, I hope it was the bullet wound. I feel like since 2017, everyone got dumber.
Well, yeah. When did this happen? Sorry.
I realize it happened before 2017, but I still feel like...
2011.
Oh, one of mine was 2011.
Ooh. Oh, let me see. Oh, there's the picture of him and his hostage. Don't they look bad? Like, badass.
Yeah, she's not a hostage.
She was like, I'm here. This is what happened.
She was only a hostage if she was otherwise going to be arrested. Then she was a hostage.
Yeah. I just don't.
Right. Well, we have to post that picture.
Yeah.
I have a love triangle story for you.
Ooh, we haven't had one of those in a while.
This one is fantastic.
Oh, okay.
It's also a murder for hire story.
Oh, wait, hold on really quick. I forgot to write this one down. One of his posts, he says, well, before he was going to let her go, and then they tried breaching, and then he did warning shots. Yeah. He said, well, everyone, I'm letting Veronica go here real soon, but this is the end. And then that's when they tried to get in, and then he did the warning shots, and then he was like, never mind. Yeah, then shit really hit the fan. Sorry, I thought I was missing one, and I was like, there was a lot more posts and comments.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, and
I'm excited for your love triangle one, though.
I'm trying to figure out how to pronounce this poor girl's name, but it turns out it's just all...
Just kind of say it.
All right, so here's what we're going to do. It's not a real name, from what I can tell. So I'm going to have my phone pronounce a similar name that is real, and then we're going to say it the same way.
What? What do you mean?
Hold on.
Don't you just ever ask Google to pronounce words for you?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't do that. I spell it out to them, and I'm like, how do you say?
Okay, well, that's how I was going to say it. Okay, so we're going to call her Ishnar. Okay, anyway. Lopez Ramos. She's 35 years old.
Okay.
She's in love with an unnamed man. Well, we're never allowed to know his name.
Oh, I thought he just was like...
His parents were like, we don't know what to call you.
What's that song? A Horse with No Name?
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not like that.
No.
So she's in love with a no-name man.
Mm-hmm.
No-name man is already in a relationship with a woman.
Okay.
And so Lopez Ramos decides that this woman's going to have to die.
I mean, what else is there?
That's really the only option. So at this point, one sentence into the story, I can only assume that in her mind, this unnamed man has to be in a serious romantic relationship every second of his life or he'll die. And so it won't matter that this woman that he apparently currently cares about has died. He will be ready to turn around and start another serious romantic relationship with her.
That just sounds like human nature.
Yes. So she hires a couple of people.
Dang.
She hires Alexis Ramos Rivera, who I'm guessing is maybe a sister-in-law. Not really sure. And she hires Glorianne Marie Quinones, I think. Monte. I really can't say any of these names, but I should be able to, and it's a little embarrassing.
I never
Except for
say names
Glorianne
right.
Marie, which is really too much name. It's not even Gloria Marie.
It's Glorianne.
It's Glorianne Marie. Like
Glorian.
Maybe. Anyway.
Name.
So Lopez Ramos, she's 35. She really should have known better. The two people she hires are both 22.
Oh, they probably texted it all, didn't they?
Maybe. It doesn't even matter. So she's like, okay, here's where the woman works. go get her. I want you to kill her. I want you to, I think, strangle her.
Oh, God. She even had specifics.
Yeah, and then you're gonna like take her out of town, and you're gonna dump her body. Okay. So they do. They go to this place, see the woman walking out. They follow her home from work.
Okay.
At her house, they grab her, put her in their car. They zip tie her wrists. They put a bag over her head and duct tape it. She fights back because nobody wants to die slowly with a bag over their head. Not from Yahtzee, not from anything.
No.
And so she fights back. So they beat her up until she stops fighting and she dies. Okay. So this woman's name is, oh God, Janice Zengatito Torres. Everybody has these long ass names. And sometime between the point when they find her and grab her and zip tie her hands, but before they put the bag over her head, duct tape it to her, she starts to suffocate, struggles, they beat her up, she stops moving, and she dies. So somewhere between those 2 points, it becomes clear, not the right woman.
And they just didn't stop?
But they killed her anyway. They knew she was not the right woman, and they killed her anyway. So this Janice was a wife. She was a mom of a teenage boy. She did work at the same place as the intended victim, which is why I guess they thought it was the victim. They were like, oh, well, it's the woman in the brown skirt who leaves at 5 o'clock. And yeah. So they drive her 80 miles out of town. They dump the body. It's only days before somebody puts it all together. They actually, because they're so smart. And I didn't even write this down, but they apparently take her belongings back to the woman that hired them. And she somehow ends up with Janice's ATM card. And immediately, like the next day, she uses it.
Oh, God.
And
that's so dumb.
Of course,
everything's dumb with the story, but oh my God.
Janice's family is like, we can't find her. And the police are probably like, we'll track her credit cards. And then, oh my God, they use the credit card. So they go and they pick up this woman who then says, oh, well, I have this because I hired these 2 people to kill this other woman. And they didn't do it. They killed, Janice instead. But that's why I have her ATM card. So they go and they arrest all of them and throw them all in prison forever and ever and ever at the end. How horrible is that?
Was she trying to correct them? Like, well, no, I didn't do that. I actually hired people to
that. To kill the other person.
And they didn't, but I still spent her money. Why? Why do you ask? Like,
I mean, I figure at that point, does she feel like she's not guilty of that murder?
Who else would talk like that about it?
Right. Would just freely admit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Because she's totally guilty of that murder.
Because if you find or receive someone else's bank card, of course you're allowed to just use it.
Right. Especially if you know that person has been murdered by the people. Well, okay, first of all, you're legally just as culpable. Morally, you are 100% just as culpable of that person's murder as if you had hired them to kill that person specifically. Like, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Legally, you still are, because that person was killed in the commission of a felony.
Yeah.
Because murder for hire is a felony.
Yep.
You can't do that. So yeah, so it didn't even matter whether or not they texted. She used the ATM card of the dead woman the day after she died.
That's nuts.
So I'm glad I did them in that order because that one was much shorter.
Yes,
but
that's insane,
right? How? Do they think that maybe it was? Now this woman has seen our faces and she knows that we're going to kill somebody, so we can't let her live. And that's why
I don't know
if
I would have automatically assumed they were going to kill someone. If they would have, I don't know, abducted me and zip tied me, I would have been like, okay, so they're kidnapping me or selling me or something, like, I
Yeah.
wouldn't automatically assume they're going to kill me.
But if they didn't want to get in trouble, maybe they thought the only way, like I can picture in some sort of crime drama, them sitting in the front seat going, well, shit, she saw our faces. What are we going to do now? Well, I guess we're just going to have to kill her. We have the duct
Yeah.
tape right here.
I guess so.
Would be a waste.
Ugh.
And they never even, like, I guess there wasn't enough time, but they never made another attempt on the other woman.
That's true.
So after
There
all
probably
of
wasn't
that,
enough time because
there
the
probably
lady
wasn't.
used it the next day.
Maybe to get out money to pay them.
Oh my God, that would be so bad. But just think about that for a second. How bad would that be to be paid with the money
Your
of the
own money.
person you killed? Like, it's like as if you were paying someone to kill you.
Yeah.
That is really fucked up if you think about it.
Well, or maybe she had already paid them to kill the one woman, but now in
She
order to
didn't
get them to
have
kill the
money.
right person, so she had to go get more money out of the wrong person's. It doesn't even matter why she was withdrawing money from the account.
It's sad.
It's
and
so
wrong.
dumb.
But yes. Ugh,
It's so dumb, and it's so not okay.
agreed.
So that one, and both of mine were just surprisingly, shockingly stupid, but then
Yeah.
yours was even stupider, so I just
Yeah.
don't even know.
That's like putting Facebook Live on and just being, hey y'all, it's me. The
This is
music's
my
not owned by me, but
10-year-old.
this
Right.
is my day. That's insane. I don't know if we have anything else to talk about. I think.
Well, I have a present for you,
Oh,
but we're going to pretend like I'm handing it to you.
okay.
Because I can't
Is
get
it big or
out.
small?
Well, I can tell you what it is.
Oh, okay.
So I brought you a present
I was
back from
gonna
Minneapolis.
Ask like I was opening it.
It's
So I
not
said,
wrapped.
Is it big or small?
It wouldn't.
Whoa, it's really heavy, guys. Like a radio show. Oh, okay. Go ahead.
All
Sam.
right, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Here you go.
She handed it to me.
You don't see. I'm pointing at it.
Oh, the mug.
Yes.
Yes.
I meant
Works
to.
like a charm. That's
so
cute.
if I had not been racing back to get here in time, my plan was to make us coffee in our matching FBI mugs.
Aw, that would be. I'll take a picture and post it.
We will into that.
Very.
But
cute.
anyway, that's your
I also
crime
like how you
crazy
told me
theme.
your Tam Tam thingies were upstairs and they
Oh,
happen
the
to
Tim
be right
Tams.
there.
That's because David heard me say that, and he went upstairs and got the Tim Tams and brought them down.
Oh, I don't even know what they are.
They're chocolate cookies.
Ew.
They're so good,
I
but
don't-
I can't even eat a whole one. They're like you know those sugar wafers
Yeah.
that are like that big.
Mhm.
Those are the same size, but I cannot eat a whole one. It's like chocolate mousse on a chocolate cookie with another chocolate cookie on the top, and then they dipped the whole thing in chocolate fudge.
That sounds disgusting.
Why?
I don't like cookies like that. Like that's why I don't
Oh.
like Twix. Like any cookie with chocolate. Blech.
They're so good,
Ugh.
but they're so rich.
The
I
most
can't eat
chocolate
one.
cookie combo I can eat. I don't even like Oreos that much. Like that's how bad it is. But like maybe a Milano or whatever they're called.
I only like to eat Oreos if no one else is around because you cannot eat Oreos without getting black stuff all in your teeth.
Oh, but I don't care about that. I'll be like, hey y'all.
No, ugh.
No, I don't even like Oreos that much. So
Milanos. You said
Yeah,
yes,
that's
Milano.
yeah, but I can only eat like
Oh.
maybe one,
Oh, I love Milanos.
and it takes me forever to eat one.
You could just lick all the chocolate off of those, and then my daughter had cookies for breakfast.
Well,
And because she went to the cabinet and she got them herself.
Oh.
And brought them down and handed them to Bea, and we were talking, and Bea just opened them and handed them to her, and she ate them. And then she went back to the cabinet and to get more cookies, and I said, Sophia, you cannot have more cookies. You need to eat something else. To which my mother-in-law responds, do you want some Pop-Tarts? It's like, whatever. Have another cookie. It's cool. Like,
that's funny.
just because it's a breakfast cookie.
Every time she's at my house, I'm like, what do you want to eat? And then usually it's the same few things. And what did she ask for? Oh, an apple. And I said, do you want me
Yeah.
to cut it for you? She said, no, I just want to bite it. And I
Yeah.
was like, okay, are you going to eat it if you just bite it? Yeah. Are you sure? Yeah. Takes a bite. I don't like this apple. This is a bad apple. And I was like, so
Was
I
it
took
like
a
a
bite of
yellow
it.
apple?
No, it was a Honey Crisp apple. One of the absolute sweetest apple. I was like, what do you not like about it? So I took a bite and I was like, I mean, it's not as sweet as they normally are, but it was still okay. And I said, do you want me to cut it? Maybe you'll like it if I cut it. Yeah. Okay. So I go over there and I use the cutter, you know, like the apple cutter.
The apple cutter, yeah.
And it takes the core out. And I brought it over there. And Toby looks at the apple and looks at me. And Sophia looks at the apple and looks at me. I'm like, oh my God, what did I do? And they're like, I knew they were going to say something wrong about how I cut
You did something wrong.
And Toby said, you should have just used a knife.
Yeah, because you cut the core out.
Yes.
They both eat the core.
Yes.
They just eat the entire apple stem and all.
I said, what's wrong? I have the other piece in the kitchen. Like, I can give it to you. Like, trying to, like, make friends with a stray dog. I'm like, I'm so sorry. So then she takes a bite and she said, I don't like it. And I said, oh. So instead, I said, can we give the apple to Frankie? Oh, yeah, we could do that. Toby's like, no, we cannot do that. Because Toby, for some reason, really doesn't like the dogs. But Sophia's like, yeah, let them out.
Right.
So we had to drop Toby off, come back home. And then I said, do you want to give Frankie the apple now? Yeah. So she sat on the counter while we gave him apple pieces. Because it was too disgusting for her. Any which way you cut it.
I was going to say, because last time that we were at my mom's house, they go there and they get an apple. And they eat it. And then they don't want dinner because they're not hungry because they had an apple. But then after dinner's over, they would like an apple. And they have an apple to go. Oh my God. But
that's funny.
They split it, but she just cuts it in half. And they both eat
it.
The whole thing. Yeah. And that's the only way they like it. But even like the stem and the little gristly part on the bottom and the seeds.
They
and
are
the
stray
core.
dogs. As soon as I came out, they were just looking at each other like freaking noob. Like, they looked at me like, this poor girl, she doesn't know what the hell she's doing.
She had to use that special tool and she still fucked it up.
I was like, dang, this is the coolest thing ever. When I was a kid, I was like, yes, now it's in perfect slices for my peanut butter.
Right.
But no, I did it all wrong, so.
She may have eaten it with peanut butter on it. Oh my gosh, that is so fantastic. Can I plug his podcast?
Oh my God, yes.
So Tobin has his own podcast now. Well, I mean, he lets me co-host with him, but it's called Tobin Talks.
It's so cute.
He has one episode out. It's 15 minutes long, so you totally have time to listen to Tobin Talks.
It's so cute.
It's pretty great.
He just makes up shit, and it's my favorite thing because he's that age.
Oh, he does. He just, yeah. Well, he was telling me in the car, he's like, so I'm just going to tell stories about school, like about how Charlie throws stuff at me and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh my God, these other children's parents are going to find out about this somehow and kill me. But then he goes, oh, we can't talk about this. I was like, why? Because we're not recording. We can't talk without a microphone. Aww. It's like we have to save it for the podcast.
He's so cute.
Anyway, it's not, well, it's hosted on Buzzsprouts or something like that, but I didn't put it on iTunes or anything like that. But if you want to hear Tobin Talks, I probably could, post it in the Facebook group or something.
Yeah, that'd be cute. He was very excited. That's the time we sent you that video because he kept telling me he wanted to be a grown-up so he could say bad words.
Yes,
and I was like,
podcast.
what? Why do you want to be why do you want to say that? So then he was like, because then I could say bad words and talk about murdering people. I said, oh my God, we have to send that to your mother right now.
Yes.
So then I started recording him.
Well, that was why, because he was telling me that he can't be downstairs when we're doing our podcast because then he might say bad words if he hears them.
Yeah.
And then he wanted to have a podcast. He's like, but I can't say bad words. I said, well, and you can't talk about murder because you don't want that in your head. Like, you got to talk about nice things. He's like, yeah. For kids' podcasts, you can't talk about dead people.
Do you know that he tried convincing me that I could say bad words in front of him, that his ears just don't hear them?
And yet, he asked me what lame meant.
Yeah.
And after I finished explaining it, he said, Mom, you're lame.
Yeah.
And I said, that's not very nice. And he said, well, you told me what it was, so now I get to use it.
Yeah. He was like, you can say bad words in front of me, and my ears just won't hear the bad words. They'll just hear all the other words. And I was like, is that how that works? Okay.
See, and in my mind, I would have at that point cracked up because the first thought that came into my head was bullshit, which you can't say.
Oh, yeah.
He's amazing. They're both amazing.
I'm going to start a vlog about all the words I have to change in my day-to-day starting Monday. Because I think I call Julius an asshole about 20 times a day, and I don't think I can do that.
No, because you would do it once, and then Sophie would just start
Asshole,
screaming,
asshole,
asshole!
I'd be like, true.
Except in her Elmo voice. Asshole!
Oh, and then I cut the banana wrong, and I get the stare.
Banana.
Oh, I cut the banana.
You
That.
cut a
Oh,
banana?
God, don't even get me started on that.
All right, well, listen, don't give my daughter an orange. No matter how much she tells you she wants an orange, she doesn't. She wants to peel the orange, pull it into segments, put it on the floor, and then stomp it like bubble wrap.
Okay. Well, that's nice.
So,
Yep, nope. I don't know, I just instantly started cutting banana. And just chunks.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
tears.
No. Toby said, please do not cut my banana. I was like, okay, this is for your sister. And Sophie said, you cut my banana? I was like, oh, yeah, I did. I said, yeah, but now you can just use, like, your pinchy fingers, and now you can just grab one piece at a time. And she's going to look at me like, okay. Like, I'll eat the banana because you gave it to me, but... And then the next day I didn't have the banana because I probably thought it was a bad idea. And then there I went and fucked up with the apple. I can't. There's no winning. You kids like grapes?
God.
I cannot mess up grapes.
Don't cut them, but yes, they do like
I
grapes.
like. I know. I trust them to eat a grape.
Yeah. Bia this morning brought Tobin a bowl of cereal. Sophie had already had cookies and Pop-Tarts for breakfast. Tobin wanted cereal. She offered him Pop-Tarts. He's like, I'd rather have cereal. So she brings him cereal, and she brings Sophie a bowl, too. She's like, if not, Sophie's going to squawk at me, she says as she's walking down the steps with these two bowls. Sure enough, Sophie's like, looks at Toby's cereal, and she's like, ah! And Bia's like, nope, here's yours. Puts it down. I don't want that kind of cereal. She's like, okay, come in the kitchen. They go in the kitchen. I want that kind of cereal. Bia's like, that's the cereal that's in your bowl. No, not that one. I want the square one, that one. She's like, no. Those are the Cheerios. Those are already in your bowl. So then they talk for a little bit more, and I got distracted. Then all of a sudden, Bia's coming back down. She has 2 bowls in her hands. She sets down 2 more bowls of cereal. She made 3 bowls of cereal for Sophie, one of each kind, and just put them all on the table. She's like, you're going to eat one of these.
Yeah, that's funny. Oh,
So,
yeah. I'm learning the food game.
yeah, it's a fun game. She's great. Okay, we told crime stories for like an hour, and then we talked about my kids for half an hour, so it's time for us to go.
You could just cut most of that out. And just be like,
It's gonna happen.
Sorry, guys.
Be like, if you want to subscribe to our
You
Patreon
can hear all the funny stories we just told.
about my kids.
Yep. It was
And
fun.
car accidents and police officers and apples and bananas.
Apples and bananas.
Did you want to say anything else before we go?
Is there anything else you needed to say before I say my thing?
We're going to really, really, really try to get an episode out on Tuesday.
Yes.
This
We are
one's
going to try
coming out
to
at a
be
weird time.
weekly true crime podcast again.
It's true.
But we might be a weekly / sporadic.
No, that was like
We had a fluke
awful
week.
circumstances.
Well, 2 weeks in a row. Really.
It was 2 weeks in a row, and it was horrible.
Yeah, there was a lot going on.
There
We're trying to
was-
get back on track.
Yeah.
That's all.
Healing that did not happen,
Yep.
and sickness that would not go away, and
Yes.
now it's going to be good.
Yep.
All right, so no, we are going to be back next Tuesday
Yep.
with another fun-filled episode and crimes and probably stupid criminals and probably us sitting here going, I can't even think of anything funny to say because I am so floored at how stupid these people are.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
So in the meantime,
Please do not end up on that episode because then you'll be the dumb person we're talking shit about.
but do have a really great week.
Yeah.